Hope you had a great New Year's Eve. I don't know if I did, which means I did.
Yes.
Now, I'm not an optimist or a pessimist or even a gynecologist, despite what it says on my business cards. But I always see my glass half full, especially while I'm waiting for the pill to dissolve in my drink, because that's what America is. And I believe we have a lot of room for optimism, because like a pervert with an iPhone at the bottom of an escalator, things can only look up. Because after all, right now, everything is down in the dumps. We're talking lower than Don Lemon's ratings or Nancy Pelosi's neckline. Oh. The economy, crime, how can this stuff get any worse? Oh yeah, Kill Me's on today. Talk about getting off on a good foot, huh? But we do have reason to think positively for a whole bunch of things. You've heard of the slippery slope? And I don't mean the ramp that slides UPS delivery men into my basement. Slippery slope is when stuff keeps getting worse by virtue of it already being bad. Well, I believe 2023 is the year when the slope hits the wall. And that's because stuff just went too far. We let the nuts take the driver's seat. And it's time for the pendulum to swing back to some form of normalcy. The adults need to take charge, and not ones in diapers. Here are my predictions, which are basically hopes. First, we'll start treating crime like crime again. For so long, we let far-left radicals define crime as a response to injustice, like the unfairness of having to pay for deodorant instead of stealing it from CVS. Or the inequity of some people not wanting to be stabbed. How dare they? Yet over time, social injustice and poverty decrease, but crime still does it. Like Kilmeade's next book, it only gets worse.
How do you know there is one?
Yes, that's true. Fact is, their radical theories were as corrupt as their radical solutions. But now it has to get better because it can't get any worse. And what about biology? Once again, we've let the slippery slope turn into a 90-degree cliff where genitals' reality is so bent, you'd think it has Peyronie's disease. With men happily calling themselves women and other men who used to be women claiming to give birth, while other women claim to have penises and not the ones belonging to their husbands that they keep in their purses. For a while there, we sat back and we were really polite, figuring we didn't want to hurt the feelings of crazy people in public. But now that the insane has taken over not just the asylums, but school boards and hospitals and pediatric associations, I think parents have had enough. And they're speaking up and speaking out. And the nuts who identify as something else are being seen for what they truly are. Nuts. It's not about drag queen story hour. It's about genital mutilation redefined as gender affirmation. And hopefully parents in general will start taking their kids' education more seriously. Seriously enough to beat the left-wing unions into retreat. And send the green-haired teachers babbling on TikTok back to where they belong, a therapist's office. Other non-science seems to be hitting a wall, too. COVID hysteria is being driven out by good old-fashioned American attitude. We canceled our lives, closed our businesses, and hunkered down in our homes while the big shots went on vacation or ate maskless in fancy restaurants. But we're done here, and it's time to move on. It's time to get masks out of schools and send them back to where they belong, at orgies for rich people. Finally, it seems that cancel culture is on the ropes. And it's this show and it's this audience that made that happen. Sure, the weasels will still come after us, howling from their social media perches, desperately trying to reinvigorate the mob, all the while paying Elon $8 a month. But we got them where we want them. Now's the time to send them grabbing their bags like they're Sam Brinton at the Southwest Carousel. I'm not gonna lie, I miss him.
Yeah.
And his shiny head. This is the year to do it. So either you're with me or against me. And frankly, I don't know which one I'd like more.
Here he is.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's on our first show of the year, so we can get it out of the way. Host of One Nation and co-host of Fox and Friends, Brian, please kill me. He's open for more A-listers than Stormy Daniels. actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. I thought that was funny. She's written more speeches than Joe Biden's stolen. Former Deputy National Security Advisor K.T. McFarland. And finally, she's like January, cold, dark, and arrives with a giant credit card bill. Fox News contributor Kat Tim. Brian, I have a two-prong question for you. The first prong, is your resolution going to be to spend even less time with your family?
Right, so.
And the second prong is, are you as optimistic as I am about 2023? You can answer the prongs in any order you like.
Second?
Yes.
Can I consult?
Yeah, no.
Jamie, should I go first prong?
I would go right for the second prong.
Second prong.
Yes, okay.
Second prong.
Yes.
I love the optimism. I can't believe it's you.
Yeah.
You are not an optimistic guy by nature.
I'm not.
Did the prompter tell you what to do, or did you tell the prompter what to do? That's the bigger story. I think this is true cancel culture is coming to a close. We're out of people to cancel.
Yeah.
We're beginning to get off the mat. We're beginning to take action. But guys like Jimmy Kimmel and others still going after people, despite spending most of his teens and 20s in blackface.
Right.
So I find it unbelievable. I think most people are looking into their closet and going, I better shut up now, because I can't live in the world I created. So that's my second prong. The first prong again, Jamie, do you remember the first one?
Resolution.
Resolution.
You're going to be on TV more or less, spend less time with the family, that so-called family that we never see.
Less. And it was by their request.
Yeah.
They're like, when I come in, they're like, there's no show. Why home so soon?
Daddy's always
it's not
on
Saturday.
TV. There's a reason for Daddy being always on TV.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, do you know that we changed years in Alaska, or is there a time lag?
We change years. We're 5 total years behind.
Okay.
As of right now.
Are you as optimistic as I am? Are you cautiously optimistic?
I'm cautiously optimistic because I feel like we've been optimistic before and maybe got, things didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted them to. But I think this is the year. I really do. Don't you kind of think it's the year? Yeah. And look at, Biden administration, by the way, loves New Year's Eve. I heard when they counted down when they got to 0, they were like, interest rates haven't gone up at all this year. And then they were like, there's been no murders this year. And then Biden was like, I haven't my pants once this. Oh, man. It was a good run. But I had a good New Year's. I'm not allowed to drink. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
So it's always like I used to be bad. Like, have you ever been so drunk, you're lying on your back looking at cloud formations, like trying to figure out what they look like or whatever, and then you realize you're inside and your house is on fire? I was like, that one looks just like a fireman. But I really am optimistic, though. It's going to be a good year.
It could be the year that you meet that special someone, Jamie.
It could be. I just got to raise the funds.
KT, are you optimistic? My theory is it can't get worse. But,
I think it gets worse.
It gets worse?
Oh, yeah.
In what ways will it
the
get worse?
economy gets worse. So we have inflation. We're going to have an absolute crisis with China at some point in the year. The southern border is we've now turned it over to drug cartels.
This is why I
we have
eliminated
Americans
this from my monologue.
Oh.
No. This is. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
I had China and
Fentanyl,
the border in my monologue. I said, no, it doesn't work. I'll just get rid of it.
Right.
And then you come on here and you throw it back in my face.
Absolutely rain on your parade. No, I think it gets worse.
Yeah.
But then I think ultimately it gets better.
You have to go through the fire in order to.
You have to have a burning platform before the American people say, okay, I've had enough. We thought they had had enough at the election, at this past election, but they obviously didn't. And so I think it gets worse. We have a real recession, and we have inflation, and we have, the homeless thing is bad, the drug thing is bad, the China thing is bad. Who knows? Maybe we have a bigger war with Russia. And then I think the American people say, okay, I've had enough. This is over.
Could it be our culture has changed so much that we are so separated that a lot of the things you mentioned don't affect a lot of people, like homelessness? Only the people in the cities are talking about
right.
that. So it's and then we're indoor. People don't pay attention. They don't even know that China owns TikTok. You know, that's
Right, but if you're in the flyover states, you're
Yeah.
dealing with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And you're in the states where people are leaving the city. That's not a city problem as much as it's a rural problem. So I think the problems are all over. I just don't think it's bad enough to force
You are a
it.
sunshiny rainbow.
Yeah, well, no, but then it's.
Thank God you're all dressed in black. You're the
Yeah, I
Grim
know.
Reaper.
Well, I'm ready for the funeral.
We bet before the show, could you kill Kilmeade?
Are you trying to get money for your GoFundMe thing? Could do that.
So, Kat, are you optimistic?
No.
No, why not? Yeah, I always, you pretend to be pessimistic, but.
Well, I don't know. I think something bad's going to happen. I just don't think we know what it's going to be yet. Because I'm not good with optimism or like high hopes. So to avoid needlessly worrying, what I do is just like remind myself how many of the traumatic things in my life were also complete surprises.
Right,
so,
that's
like,
true.
Right? Like, don't worry, it's going to be okay. More like, don't worry, you will never see it coming.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Wait, the things that keep you up at night are never the things that.
No, you always worry for nothing, but then you don't worry when you should have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so something real bad's gonna happen. None of us, we cannot even imagine. We don't know yet, so we shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, think of that, Jamie. Think about
I've never
that.
been so worried about everything. What's going on?
But I think it's. I've got a positive message. At least indulge my positive message.
Well, I'm still sitting here.
Yeah. That's, How was your New Year's Eve?
It was fun. I went to Julie Banderas's.
Wow. Wasn't invited to that either.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand you being not invited. But I have a hit show,
Right.
I have 2 hit shows. I should have been invited twice.
So you forget I have the radio show, Fox and Friends, really successful member Saturday night, but I don't want to slow you down.
Yeah. Well, you know what? No one watches that crap.
Right. You mean your old slot on Saturday?
I love Brian. All right, up next, Newsom goes on a bender, signing laws for crime, COVID, and gender.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.